What if I told you that the people who love everyone are often the ones who feel the most alone? What if I told you that the warmest hearts are usually built from the coldest experiences, and the people who spread love the widest often carry wounds the deepest? In a world full of emotional walls, distance, and relationships built on convenience, there exists a rare kind of human being, someone whose love has no boundaries, whose compassion has no filter, whose heart stays open even when life gives them every reason to shut it down. You've met them. You might even be one of them. And if you are, this story may feel uncomfortably close to your soul. Now, let's begin. There are people who smile first, who soften the room just by showing up, who carry a kind of warmth the world naturally gravitates toward. From the outside, their kindness looks effortless, almost natural. But on the inside, something far more complex is happening, a blend of emotional intelligence, trauma echoes, survival instincts, and a deep psychological pattern that shapes how they love, who they love, and why they seem to love everyone. Their empathy switch is always on. They don't just read emotions, they absorb them. They don't just notice pain, they feel it. They don't just offer kindness, they bleed it, without asking for anything back. It isn't a performance. It's instinct. It's wiring. It's who they became long before they understood what it meant. Most people who love everyone were forced to love too early. As children, they learned to decode emotions to stay safe. They learned to soothe tempers before storms erupted. They learned to keep peace, even when they were breaking inside. They learned that love wasn't something freely given, it had to be earned. So now, as adults, they give love before anyone even asks, because deep inside, it still feels like their responsibility. These are the people the world instantly feels safe with. Strangers open up to them without knowing why. Friends confess secrets. Co-workers go to them during emotional crises. Family members rely on them as if they're the emotional backbone of the entire system. Something about their presence feels grounding, warm, deeply human. They embody the energy of a safe person. They don't pressure, they don't judge, they don't reject, and they don't make anyone feel small. Their patience feels endless. Their empathy feels limitless. Their gentleness feels rare. But being everyone's safe place comes with a heavy secret. They often have no safe place of their own. People trust them, but rarely check on them. People open up to them, but rarely ask how they're doing. They protect everyone, while being quietly unprotected. Most of these universal lovers share a common attachment imprint. They grew up in emotional environments that were unpredictable. Sometimes love was warm. Sometimes it disappeared without explanation. Sometimes the people they depended on became distant. Sometimes they became cold. So these individuals learned to overlove, overgive, overplease, and overunderstand, not because they wanted to, but because connection felt fragile. Loving everyone became a survival strategy. If I love everyone, fewer people will abandon me. Their emotional barriers are low. Where others build walls, they leave windows open. Where others see a bad person, they instinctively see a hurt person acting out. Where others judge, they understand. They feel other people's emotional wounds as if they've lived them. This is why they forgive too quickly, trust too early, stay too long, and hurt more deeply than most. But their kindness comes with a dark side. The person who loves everyone usually forgets to love themselves. They hide their needs. They minimize their pain. They suppress their anger. They pretend they're strong. They avoid being a burden. They keep giving, even when they're emotionally empty. To the world, they look like unlimited kindness. Inside, they feel like an emotional ghost. People see their light, but not the fire it took to create it. Many misunderstand them as attention seekers, people pleasers, or soft-hearted pushovers. But the truth is the opposite. These people often have unusually high emotional intelligence, sharp intuition, deep self-awareness, and an immense capacity for connection. They don't help for recognition. They help because they can't stand the idea of someone suffering while they do nothing. Their love isn't an act, It's their identity. Neuroscience reveals something even deeper. Highly empathetic people have overactive mirror neurons, brain cells that make them feel what others feel. When someone cries, they feel the ache in their own chest. When someone smiles, their brain lights up with joy. They are wired to feel deeply, and that wiring makes their love powerful, but their exhaustion very real. And yet, despite everything, the world desperately needs them. They create emotional safety in unsafe places. They bring softness where life feels sharp. They heal wounds they didn't cause. They restore faith in humanity simply by existing. Humanity survives because people like this refuse to become cold, even when life freezes them repeatedly. But something beautiful happens in their story. There comes a day, a moment of clarity, a quiet breaking point, when the person who loves everyone realizes they deserve love too. They begin to set boundaries. They begin to say no. They begin to choose peace. They begin to value themselves. They begin to love intentionally, rather than universally. And when they do, their love becomes stronger, no longer drained, but dignified. No longer compulsive, but conscious. If you're watching this, and a small voice inside whispers, "This is me," then listen closely. You are not weak. You are not naive. You are not too nice. You are emotionally gifted in a world that emotionally struggles. Your ability to love everyone is rare, but your heart deserves a home too. So keep loving, but don't forget yourself. Be kind, but don't shrink. Give love, but protect your peace. Shine, but don't burn out. Some of your love must stay with you. And if this story opens something inside you, subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who needs to understand your heart. Because here, you're not misunderstood. Here, you're valued. Here, your mind finally has a home.